On this episode, we got some mousekeeping to get out of the way before we dive into updated reviews of Ohana, lunch at Tiffins, and a whole lot more. Today's September 19th, 2025, and this is episode 808 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
So did you have a great birthday and a great weekend?
I did. I really did.
Good.
It was nice because originally we thought we were going to stay at the Poly with Chuck and Amy and Rachel and all until Sunday on my birthday. And we probably would have done breakfast or whatever, lunch like we did and come home. But since the girls had homecoming that Saturday night, we came home a night early, and I'm really, really glad we did because I got to spend birthday time there with wonderful folks, and then I got to come home and be with my family. And Kaylin and I... So Wednesday, before the trip, I was scrolling through Facebook, and a friend of ours, Larry Bagby from Hocus Pocus, who played Ice, it's not Ernie, he posted that they were going to be at Ancient City Con, which was going to be right down the road from us. Like, I'm not kidding.
Literally, 5 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, basically on our same road in a sense. You know what I mean? We got on the road, I got off it, we're there.
Right.
And so I saw that he and Tobias, who played Jay in Hocus Pocus, were going to be there. And we met them a few times before at the House of Mouse Expo that Scott and Michelle put on. And they're just the nicest guys on the planet. We go back. I remember going back and seeing them a year later after that and being like, they won't remember who we are, and them remembering us and all.
Amazing.
Which was amazing. So I got 2 tickets, and you and I were planning to go. And then we had some other stuff that you had to do that morning and all. And Kaylin, when we said something about it, she was like, well, I want to go see him. And plus, this is like Kaylin's thing. Like these cons are just her type of thing. She loves anime and horror, and this is filled with that stuff.
Yes.
So you said, Kaylin, why don't you go with your dad? So we went down there, and we're getting there a little bit in the afternoon on the later end. It was the last day. It was not very busy. And we're walking up to Larry and Tobias, and nobody's there. And I said to Kaylin, I was like, they're probably not going to remember me. It's been 2 years, I think 2.5 years maybe since I've seen him. And so I walked up, and I could tell first that Larry had to make the connection. And then when he did, he was like, oh, man, Jeremy, stood up, gave me a hug. Then he looked at Tobias and was like, remember them? And Tobias took a second, and he was like, yes. And we stood there and talked to them for probably 45 minutes to an hour. They're two of just the nicest, most humble human beings. I at the end, I spent some time just talking to Larry, and then Kaylin was talking to Tobias and about some of the projects and stuff he's working on, which super excited to see. He's going to be in that Monster Ed Gein movie that is coming out on Netflix.
Ooh, I saw the commercials.
Which looks absolutely insane.
It does.
And I think that's such a fascinating story, so that'll be interesting to see. But it was just so cool to catch up with them. And these cons, just like I say with stuff like live entertainment, with music, with Broadway, with whatever it is, like, go out and support it and see it. Go out to your local place that has a band maybe you've never heard of, or your local theater that's putting on a play, or your high school. Our kids' high school put on shows that you would think are being run by professionals that have been doing this for decades. You know what I mean? Yep. So go out and support these things. These cons are amazing. You're going to run into a lot of these, folks that have been part of probably your life growing up. Maybe they're not like the top of the tier, headliners in these movies, but it's just something about going and supporting these things. There's all these local vendors, there's people that are trying to take something they love and turn it into their life. And so just when you can, go out, support those types of things. But that was great. We had a wonderful seafood dinner at a place near us, and I ate lots of crab legs and crawfish and shrimp and corn and potatoes and all kinds of stuff. So I loved it. Thank you. It was wonderful. And I got a lot of 32 degrees clothing, which is the best stuff you can wear in the parks. So, all right, so we have one more thing to talk about, and I'll let you kind of field this one before we dive into the remainder of our trip last weekend, because we did have some listeners that were interested. I think the tour is either over now or coming to an end, but we went and saw the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide tour up in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Just last week now, last Tuesday.
Yeah.
But people wanted to know kind of our thoughts on it. So what did you think of this?
I absolutely 100% loved it. I mean, it was so cool. We had some really pretty decent seats, which I was kind of surprised at. I don't think I remember picking these seats, basically.
We got we got late. Like, we just didn't. First of all, it wasn't on our radar. And then when Lacey brought it to our radar and then said her and two of her best friends also wanted to go,
I know.
We're like, all right, we got to get tickets.
Yeah. And then we were looking at going to Orlando, but then it was just going to be a lot easier to obviously come to Jacksonville. So we got some good seats, and it was so funny because it was Lacey, who's 15, Alexia 16, and Alex 18, and I think it's just adorable. But it was super cool. I don't know why I was surprised that there was a lot of littles. Littles.
I wasn't surprised at
you weren't
little kids. I mean, you got to figure. What I think is amazing about these movies is truly the demographic is like 5 to
99.
55. Yeah, and it's like Legos almost,
Yeah.
Like it really is, because I think that there's things that everyone can enjoy in these movies. And it's one of those, again, when you watch any of these Disney Channel style movies, Zombies, Descendants, the Camp Rocks,
Right.
they're making a number 3, which I'm excited about.
Yes.
You just have to go in it with the state of mind that this is a fun movie made for families.
Yeah, and it's funny because I guess the reason it's made till 99 because your kids, if you've got the younger ones, they're gonna listen to the soundtrack over and over and over.
So you just better like it,
right? But it's fantastic. The music is great. I absolutely love it. But it was funny because Malachi Barton is now
young ladies tend to like him. Is all I will say.
He is the up and coming star that everybody loves.
Camp Rock 3.
Yes.
And I this is something like, it's the same thing like for me, like Disney on Ice, right? Like I love Disney and I'm like, okay, I know that I'm going to love the content and the whatever, but I don't know that it's something I would normally pick. And what this turned out to be was a legitimate concert. You know what I mean? Like I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting I was expecting more of a show as opposed to a concert, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and then it was funny because two of the girls, Freya and, Red's real name.
Yeah, Kylie Cantrell.
Thank you. They actually each have their own music that they do.
Most all of them do. I mean,
they
most all of them
performed
do.
their own.
Yes, they did. Yes.
There.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. And I watched Lacey because I didn't know Freya's song, and she was singing along. So I was like, that's really cool.
A lot of the people did. And it's great to give them a platform because
100%.
Because also what I think what happens is a lot of these kids get stuck. They get stuck in a Disney like fandom and role, and it's hard for them to break out or have their own music or their own whatever. And so I was so impressed. The entire production is so incredibly done. I mean, these kids, because they are just as talented as can be. Like Kylie Cantrell was born to be a star.
Yeah.
100%. She just oozes it. It's amazing.
I think that was cool too, where sometimes they were doing some flashbacks of videos that they found when they were younger.
Like them saying being young, being like, I want to be on the Disney Channel one day.
Right.
And here you are heading up a stage in front
of
tens of thousands. It was so cool.
It was.
I hope that this type of thing continues. I remember like after every American Idol, they do an American Idol tour.
Okay.
Like I would love to see that. Like imagine there being, now this one would be impossible to pull off because you'd have to have the I don't want to say lesser known stars, but you couldn't have the Jonas Brothers show up for a Camp Rock tour. But imagine taking those types of things and turning that into a tour and the music. Like I think it would be awesome. So,
so we just had a wonderful time. And
we
look
did.
forward
It was so
to
good. Yeah, so if something
Other
like that,
Disney
if they do
stuff,
it again and
yeah.
it comes, man, go. It costs as much as a real rock concert, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
It was worth every penny, in my opinion. And what also is cool is to be able to go. Now, our children grew up in a very open environment of things like maybe movies and some sort of languages and things like that, right? But not everybody does, and it's neat to be able to go to something like this that is a family-friendly environment.
Correct.
Even when sometimes you got a 15, 16, and 18-year-old with you.
Right.
They're
I mean,
already hearing all this stuff at school.
Yeah.
Let's take them to somewhere family-friendly where we can all be comfortable there.
Yeah.
So I thought it was awesome. Few more things before we get into some food. Will you talk about what you learned about MagicBands real quick in the room access? Something that has plagued us for years.
Yeah, it was super cool because we went into the Poly Tower and my band worked. So I just half expected it to work when we got into the elevator. It did not. Then I half expected it to work on the room. It did not. I was very confused. So the next morning, we were down there. I was like, I wear my band all the time. I know we had a card I can pull out, but I wanted my band. Mm-hmm. So I spoke to the nice, sweet cast member down there. And she actually informed me that if you go to your Walt Disney World app and then you go down to My Resort and you click on it, you'll find it under, usually in the home button, and you click on My Resort. It then pulls up and it shows, like when you're like charges and whatnot, but it has the MagicBand access. And I'm pretty sure it is your first icon.
I believe it was, yes.
And she said, you click on that, you open scanner to your phone, it scans it. And I did that 3 bands and it totally worked on the door, worked. And
it's amazing.
Just,
it's awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah. We were never told that.
No.
Usually this is an issue if you have one too many bands, which we do.
Mm-hmm.
We have dozens and dozens of MagicBands that are active.
Jeremy does.
But the only ones that are active now are the ones that I wear, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the MagicBand 2s, the newest ones, or pluses, or whatever they're calling them. And so it's good to know this. And normally that's when the issue is. A lot of times when you check in person, they're going to double check your band that you have on you, or they're, whatever it may be. And if you check in online, though, sometimes you may get to the door, it doesn't work. So I think it was just cool to know.
And she did say that that's basically what they do.
Yeah, they're doing the exact same thing just from their system. So
right,
the fact you can do
right.
it and not leave the comfort of your room once you've gotten into it, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Something else I wanted to talk about real quick, because it was the first time I ever had an opportunity to do it, was the extended evening hours that are available to deluxe guests at certain parks on certain nights. This was Wednesday when we showed up, because they tend to be Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, not during the weekends and all. And it was Hollywood Studios. So after we got in, Chuck and Amy had a very long day. Luckily, Chuck had napped like 7 times or something, so he was kind of ready to go. So I really wanted to go check this out, right?
And I was after Wailulu, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes, but that's where we had dinner that night. And I was like, with my stuffiness and my sinus going on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sit out just because I don't know what the rest.
I was like, sit home, stay back, right?
Yeah.
And if all 3 of you had decided to stay back, I was gonna go anyway. But
right. So
we kind of casually made our way over there. This was starting at 9 when the park closed, and it was gonna run till 11. Deluxe. Guests only. They're gonna, just like a party or whatever, they're gonna scan your band at certain areas and touch points to make sure that you are staying at a deluxe room.
Do they then ask how many?
They do.
Oh,
they do.
That's what I was wondering.
So do with that information what you may. They're going to scan one band. They're going to make sure that person's band has staying at a deluxe resort, and then they're going to ask how many in your party. My assumption is however many are on your room reservation is what is popping up. So that's the number you have to have. Okay. Regardless of maybe where those folks are staying. I'm not sure, but go ahead and check it out. So, so we didn't even get over there till 9:30, 9:40. Right. And we very casually just kind of made our way through the park, not even in a smart order, because we went right to Mickey and Minnie's, which was, I think it said 15. It was almost a walk-on, right? And then from there, we saw Tower and Rockin' were both listed at like 15. First of all, we didn't see anything, I think, over 35 minutes during the hour and a half we were there, which was Slinky Dog, right?
That's awesome.
So we went and basically walked onto Rockin', walked onto Tower. We casually made our way over to Slinky Dog, And we waited probably 25 minutes for that. Wow. We were stepping off Slinky Dog at about 11:02 or something. So,
and then
we missed.
Closes at 11.
At 11. So we missed getting on another ride. But again, we just nonchalantly, casually made our way through with no plan. And we showed up over a half hour late.
That's
and
great.
we were still able to knock out 4 top tier rides. So I say that because that is where you start to look at some math when you're booking your trip. When you're talking to Amy with MEI Travel, you look at and you say, one night we want to do an after hours party. And there is one. And they just say it's at Hollywood Studios at X number of dollars a person, 150, 160, whatever it is now, right? Think about what the cost might be to stay in a deluxe resort instead. It's kind of like staying in a Legacy or whatever they call them now, resort,
with
signature
Fast
resort
Pass
over
stuff.
with Express Pass over at Universal.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth spending that extra money for that room because of what's included.
Correct.
And I'm not saying this is on the level of an after hours, but to save $500 to $600 for a family of 4, I'll say it's on the level of after hours. With the extra money you're saving, go ahead and buy as many Mickey bars and sodas you want that come included during after hours or popcorn or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're still going to come out on top. So just something to think about because I was so impressed. We don't tend to stay deluxe only because we go so often.
Right.
And it's just too much.
Right.
But I could see in certain instances, if the time is right and we are there during a period where there are these extended hours going, let's do a night at a deluxe because I loved it. I would love to go with you to one of these.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So highly recommend. 2 more shout outs by the pool.
Yes. Yeah, we were sitting, I forgot to say this on the last episode when we were talking about the tower and everything. We actually went to the big pool, I'll call it. And I was talking, Jeremy was on the phone, but this very nice couple walked past and said, hey, and waved and said they listened. And so thank you. I wish you'd have stopped so you could tell me your names, but I know you know who you are. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. But yeah, and then we actually did, this was super funny and fun, but Madeline was the cast member by the pool, and we were doing trivia. And we went, and it was a weird trivia because she called everybody's name and said, who wants to do it? And then I was like, do we need pen or paper? She goes, no, I'm going to call you up. So she would call us up. She would ask 26 questions. And then we have, I think, 2.5
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay,
4
minutes to answer. Yep. And it's the alphabet. That's A, B, C, D, all the way.
Yeah,
that's why there's 26.
The answers will start with the letter of the alphabet as you go all the way through. Not necessarily the question, but the answer will start with that letter.
So it was super funny because we were called. We were actually almost about to need to leave, but we were called. And it was super funny because, I barely said anything. Amy, you, Chuck, y'all just started rattling things off. And she, I think, was blown away.
Yeah.
Because we got stuck on Y.
Yeah, we did.
And then she was like, it's fine. You still have 2.5 minutes. And then she was like, and if you miss this, I'm sure you're still going to win. But that is actually the only one we missed. So congratulations.
She said, not to brag, but because we are 4 adults who live and breathe Disney, and we're beating children and their families that are here for the first time. So it's really not a flex, but she did say that for her personally, that was the quickest any team has answered them. So we felt good about it, and we got a little blow up pineapple.
It was cute.
That was nice. Yep. But yeah, Madeline was wonderful.
Yeah, because then she was
awesome.
talking to you about trivia, and she's about to go on a Disney cruise, and so Jeremy
she wants to practice basically.
Yeah, so Jeremy reached out to a few people because she said something about not any in Orlando and went back.
I found a place that does a bunch around Orlando
cool.
So it was super cool.
Yeah.
But let's talk food.
Yes. When we got there that night, we went to Wailulu.
Yeah. And the only thing I want to say about Wailulu is because we ate the burger again, and it's still awesome.
Still so
we still
good.
love Wailulu. It's wonderful. But I didn't realize that they are able to make regular potato French fries instead of their sweet potato fries.
But they can do both.
They can do both. Yeah, which is just something to know because especially when you sit down with the picky eater who's like, I don't want sweet potato fries.
Right.
I have to eat regular fries. They do have them. They are very standard. If you've been to Bar Riva, they're those fries, but without anything on them.
Yeah. Okay.
So, they don't have the Parmesan or herbs, and they might need a little hint of salt, but just so you know, that is available, which I thought was pretty cool. We got our second shot at heading to Beak Barrel. We were able to line up actually with Chuck and Amy about 2 weeks ago. Beak Barrel Disney, they dropped a whole bunch of two-top reservations for like every day for 60 days.
Cool.
And people just went out and started, snagging what they could get. So I got a 2-person reservation. Amy got a 2-person reservation. We got them at 11:20, 11:25. So when we got there, we asked the wonderful cast member, is there any way we could merge these two and be together? She said, let me see what I can do. And yes, of course you can.
Well, and then they were wearing their birthday buttons. So she looked
me and
up
Amy had our
and
birthday
said,
button, so that didn't hurt.
I will do it because it's your birthday.
Yeah, and I was probably wearing a Be Nice to Cast Member's hat. So
yeah, probably.
Probably.
But this was the first time we actually were stood like ogas in the main area of the main bar where the little bird comes out. And it was weird. I will say with as much seating, I didn't either.
At all. And the only reason I don't care for it is because there is a divider. So basically, if you're standing at that section, they're windows, but they're like frosted or glazed or whatever, and they're all piratey, and they've got tentacles
cool.
and stuff. They're amazing looking. But imagine walking up to a 10-inch deep ledge that you're standing on, and directly in front of you is a frosted window.
Yeah.
As opposed to it being open and there might be other people on the other side, which can sometimes be awkward too, but I didn't care for that spot at all.
I didn't
It would have been it could have been made more comfortable if I think they had bar stools there.
Yes.
Because we basically had to spend the whole time with our backs to that wall and against the ledge, staring at the bar area, or it was just super
and then
weird.
Trying to talk, and then it was just, and it was sad because we actually passed the exact same seat that was open that we sat with Bob. And so I was like, oh man, but we had a great time. It was really cool. This time we ordered the corn griddle cakes, but this time with roasted corn and poblano peppers. We cut it in half. It's $12.
I think it's $2 cheaper. I think the chicken one is $14.
It's fantastic.
It's outstanding.
It's great. I will say
again. The chicken one is leaps and bounds better, and this one is still really good. This will be one that'll be interesting to get again because I didn't get a ton of poblano in it, flavor or even actual poblano. So again, I wonder if that varies or if they're like, hey, we want to kind of make this inventive and piratey and put some poblano roasted peppers, but we don't want to do too much because there might be people that are unfamiliar or whatever.
Right.
But these things are so good.
Yep.
I'll get a corn cake. I'm going next week with Michael. I will get a corn cake. I'll get the chicken one, guaranteed.
Nice.
What else did we get? Which is just funny.
Well,
we didn't get to sip on the beverage, but
no, we did not, and we wouldn't because it is the Plunderer's Punch, which is the Kraken Black Spiced Rum, blackberry, lime, and vanilla served in the souvenir pirate skull mug for $46, and Chuck and Amy were very kind enough to order both of those. And then I said, can I please put one on my bill? Which was wonderful because she did. And Holly, which was so funny because we actually saw her at
Oga's, thank you. Yeah, she had worked previously.
Because I was like, where have you worked before? Because I knew she looked so familiar. But
I couldn't place it. And then she said,
so
Oga's. And immediately I was like, yep.
Oh, yeah. So... and then Lisa, thank you so much for stopping. She came up to us and talked to us with her son and husband and her poor sweet, adorable little son.
He looked like, who are you?
I know, and he was like, I'm ready to go.
He's like a stranger danger.
He was so cute.
She was all pirated up. It was awesome.
She was amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
You looked amazing, Lisa.
You tell me yes or no, because I don't even know if Michael listens. Kat does. I was going to order some pirate hats off of Amazon. Should I do that for Michael and I, and we'll wear them next week when we go?
Sure. I mean,
I can get 2 for like $13, right?
Okay.
So I think I might do that and then just surprise him with a pirate hat and be like, "Here we go. You gotta wear this there." But funny. I really, really love Beak Barrel.
Yeah.
I just Blake, who we had met 2 years or so ago at Epcot one time. He just went last night for the first time, and he was just posting like, if this is the level that Disney's going to go to with their bars now, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, because they're taking that time and that care that they're putting on the cruise ships on DCL right now, and they brought that to Beak Barrel.
Now, listen, Disney, if you're listening, come on, for us non-alcoholic people, give us something that I can just go in and get as a drink and not dessert and all those things. And that's not kid. Or just go ahead and get a Heineken Zero.
Yeah, I'll ask when I go, is there any possible way to get that beverage that comes with the dessert plate without it? I'll go ahead and try and remember to inquire.
Okay.
If they tell me no, they tell me no. I might get it anyway because I like desserts. But and Michael hadn't had it, so we can share it, but we'll see. One more quick thing we're going to touch on before we dive a little bit deeper into Ohana and then Tiffins for lunch. Connections Eatery right now for the Food and Wine Festival. They always do some sort of special meal. You know, it's not your little cardboard boat and your little size sampler. It is a full meal. And right now they have a French onion burger. Comes with fries. It's a gourmet beef blend, caramelized onions, and Gruyere cheese on a toasted brioche bun for $14.49. Chuck got this, and he was nice enough to cut us off each a bite, and we got to try it. What were your thoughts on the French onion burger?
I thought it was really good, the bite, and I was like, I am looking forward to halving it with you one of the times we go.
Agreed.
It was very
I thought
good.
it was perfect, honestly.
Yep.
And I don't say that about a lot of things. It was perfect. As John always says, was it what they said it was going to be?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And I really loved it. Also, thank you for toasting your buns. The bottom bun pretty much held up during it, but I loved it. It had great flavor. Their burgers there are actually really good. It's not your standard theme park burger. So, we will definitely go back and get this and split it or whatever because I loved it. All right, let's jump on in to Ohana because we have not been there since October of 2024, so almost a year when we had the threat of a hurricane and we headed down. We had already had some plans to be down there. I think we ended up having to cancel a day after things were, pretty good and we knew it wasn't going to hit majorly. We headed down. We were at the Poly. Steve, we all went out to dinner that night at Ohana. It was wonderful, but we decided to go back. It was me and you, Chuck and Amy, Rachel, and Steve, who came as well. And we were sat and we had our server, Joshua, who I will put up with one of my top 10 cast member servers we've ever had. It was, I think there's probably always a cast member connection when he found out that Steve was a cast member, because he asked for discounts and Steve gets one, of course. And I think there's always some sort of connection, but I have a feeling that's just the way Joshua always is.
Yeah.
And he was wonderful.
Yeah, he was.
It was almost like being waited on by somebody that we knew.
Yeah.
I
agree.
It was really, really great. Do you want to talk real quick cost and what is included with Hana? And then we can talk about how our experience was this time.
Yeah, so it's $65 per adult plus tax and gratuity, and then $42 per child. Of course, your children age ranges are from 3 to 9. And then I'm going to, because you should know, everybody should know what Ohana has. If you don't, I'll tell you. But I tell you, I don't think I ever want to go without Steve again because I don't know what it is.
Steve has steak luck.
Oh my God. And Steve just has Ohana luck.
Yeah, he does.
It just freaking so good.
Yeah, when we go with Steve, it's top
so
tier,
good.
top
It's
notch.
so good.
And we'll rent him out if you need it. He can pick out your piece of steak out of that skillet.
Oh, yeah?
And he will find you the one you want.
Oh, it's so
I'm
good.
I'm looking for like a medium rare. I don't want it too fatty. He's like,
there you go.
How did you do that?
So you start with your mixed green salad with a citrus vinaigrette, which is so good. And I'm like, I hate it because it's so good. I want to eat so much of it. And I took one bite off your plate and then I was like, I'm going to eat the heck out of the signature Ohana bread that does come first with it, with honey butter. I'm going to eat the heck out of some probably wings, pork dumplings, and then the noodles and the
Veggies?
steak.
Yep.
No.
Oh,
the
steamed
steak.
you're going to eat the steak too. Yeah.
And then the bread pudding.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't eat very much mixed green salad, but it is very, very good.
I wish they would sell just this salad as an entree down at Captain Cook's with maybe like some poached or grilled shrimp.
100%.
Actually,
I would get
poached
that.
shrimp on
That'd be
top of this
amazing.
would go so
Yep.
well. And
Yep.
I would get it all the time.
And that signature Ohana bread is like a coconutty, like pineapple-y, like light, airy taste. Oh, so good. They do have honey coriander chicken wings. I actually ate 2 or 3 of these these were, again, Steve.
It's
amazing.
That night.
They're so good.
I'm not saying that they're the best wings I've had on property all the time. That night, they might have been. You know what I mean? Like, again, when they're
cooked to
perfect,
perfection.
I think they're the best on property. Outstanding.
Yep. You got pork dumplings that are tossed in a garlic chili sauce.
Now love.
Absolutely. Now this is always, the wings, the garlic dumplings are always on with your noodles and veggies.
Yep.
And those noodles are so good.
They're amazing.
When you get your food from the Skillet, you do get teriyaki beef, peel and eat shrimp, grilled chicken with guava pineapple glaze, and that all those meats, and then they do come the chicken and the steak. They all come.
Well, they
all
came
come
separate because Steve has the allergy. Steve has a shellfish allergy, so they all came in separate areas, and then they made sure to put the shrimp every time in front of Rachel and I because we were killing that shrimp.
Yes, y'all were.
Her and I ate dozens of shrimp, and everybody else got some too. But again, everything like I don't love chicken thighs.
Yeah,
what they're doing is chicken thighs. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's the way that chicken thighs were meant to be done.
Yeah.
They have that nice light char on them. They have a sweetness from that guava sauce. The steak, I have not had a lot of luck with steak lately down at Disney, I feel like. This was perfect.
Yeah,
I had some of the best pieces of steak there. And then, the shrimp.
And of course,
the shrimp was the best I remember it being too.
Yeah, it was really good. And of course, this is all you care to enjoy, and it is family style. Yes. So they bring all this, and then when we finished the noodles, I was like, "Can we get more noodles, please? Yep. Can we get?" And then everybody was like, "We'll take the whole skillet thing." So we did that. We did get more chicken. No, excuse me, more steak for sure, and more shrimp.
And more shrimp.
But
this is the place to go with a group.
It is. It's
Ron
fun.
and I have gone, just the two of us, and it has been very enjoyable, and we've loved it. But I would, no offense, honey, I would rather go with a group of people.
Absolutely,
it's so much more fun.
So
that
fun,
way. And it's all topped off with one of the best desserts on property.
Yep, and that is your Ohana bread pudding, and then they actually, and I don't know how I really feel. But the gluten-free, I think, is better than the regular.
It is airier. It's done more like, because it's more like a pull-apart bread,
so
whereas this, the regular one, is very dense, the way that a lot of bread puddings can be. But and remember, you can get this at Tambu after 4 or whatever, along with noodles.
And
with
pot
stickers, along with, I believe, wings.
Yes, I start to say wings,
along
too.
with skewers of chicken. So you can almost build your own Ohana meal. Which we've done plenty of times.
100%.
We'll do that again next time, probably. Just to sit, and you might save a few bucks. So, 2 more small things because Wailulu offers this walk-up breakfast, right?
Yes.
They're not open as a sit-down or anything, and we had not been there during that time period because we had not stayed, right? Since this opened. And so you can walk up and they've got, everything from some of the standard kind of croissant sandwiches and some pastries. They got coffee. They can do all kinds of coffee and stuff. But one of the things they have to eat that is unique there is a pineapple coconut bread for $4.79.
And we thought it was going to be like Ohana.
I thought it was just going to be one of those loaves. It is not. How would you, it's more of, honestly, it's almost like they try to take the pineapple coconut bread that they give you and kind of make a bread pastry pudding dessert. You know what I mean?
Well,
does that make any sense?
No. It's more of a pull apart. Like they took the bread that wasn't cooked yet, and they kind of
made
a
monkey
little
bread
balls.
And pushed it together.
Yes,
you're right. That's kind of more
and then drizzled on top. Some type of pineapple coconut glaze.
Yeah, with the consistency of what you'd have on a cinnamon roll.
Right. And it was fantastic.
It was great. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Very good.
And then Taylor was working there, and you can get all kinds of coffee. I said, hey, I just kind of want a decaf latte, something vanilla, whatever. And he whipped up this delicious concoction. Now, mind you, I think it was 75% milk and sugar.
Yes.
But it was outstanding. It was so good. But just, again, it was one of those things that, when you're at somewhere like the Poly and the Tower, which is, it's deluxe feel, it's deluxe pricing. When you have the type of service from a cast member that really takes their time to say, what do you like? I'll whip you up something, especially for someone who's as difficult as me now, right? Everywhere I go, it's no caffeine, no alcohol, and, we've kind of gotten away from the light carbs, but it used to be some of that. And so now, it's just nice when they can do something for you specifically. So thank you, Taylor. Really appreciated it. And then before we sit down at Tiffins, Rhonda and I headed over to Animal Kingdom a little bit early because we were going home that after lunch. And so we drove over, and then Chuck and Amy and Rachel came by bus and met us. But first we were walking around a little bit. I did Everest as a single rider. I know I put this on social, and you can't, it's just a pipe dream. You can't operationally do this, and it makes zero sense, but it is frustrating when you're truly a single rider and you go in the single rider line and you're behind 40 groups and families that are obviously going to break up. And I understand you can utilize the single rider as a group, knowing that you each individually will ride.
And nobody was trying to ride together.
No, nobody's trying to ride together, which sometimes people will do, which is super frustrating. If you stay in a single rider as a group and you get to the cast member and say, hey, is there any way we can ride together? They say no. In fact, you got to get out of line and go to standby. But I just wish, like, as there I am, I'm just like, but I'm literally just a single rider and my wife's out there alone. You guys are all together. You're friends. You know each other. Can I just go up there? But you can't. So
I could have stood in line with you and then said,
you could have, and I could have just left.
I'm done.
But instead, I just spent my time complaining about it on social media.
Okay.
So that was much more productive. I thought healthy. But we did stop after that at Thirsty River Bar. They do not have any sort of non-alcoholic beer, but they do have this Pink Lotus, and it is Monin Wild Strawberry, Lychee, and Minute Maid Premium Lemonade for $6.29. We know how much Disney loves their Minute Maid Premium Lemonade.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
And often they just put a little tiny something in it, and they say it's, a mocktail or a non-alcoholic beverage, which it technically is. This actually was really good. It felt much more like it had some thought put behind it.
Good.
I think putting that lychee in there really made a difference. So I actually enjoyed it, and I would get this again. It's pretty sweet, though. But I think kids would love this drink. Let's move on to Tiffins.
Yeah.
So you and I dined there last in April of 2024.
Okay.
We had lunch.
Okay.
I had that incredible surf and turf that I will talk about forever, and those little pressed potato thingies. Oh. But today, my goal was to get the burger.
Yeah, because John had it, correct?
John had it recently, raved about it, and loved it. You can find that out on Main ST Magic. If you hit our MSM News tab up top, you can find every Monday through Friday, John is posting a dining review at noon. And we've got all kinds of stuff up there. So anything Disney or theme park related, John is so incredible at covering everything that's happening in the Orlando area as far as food and stuff goes. So make sure you're out there and all and following us on social. But before we get to the burger and stuff, we will start with one of the non-alcoholic beverages that they do have. These are really more, I would say, considered mocktails. They're not zero proof cocktails or anything. But I also don't think a lot of them are designed with only children in mind. Like I
agree,
feel.
Especially the way it came out. Because you and Rachel got this.
Yeah, Rachel and I got this. Rachel got hers with an entire mint bush in it. Like I've never seen so much mint in a beverage. But it is the Zingerber Fizzy. It is passion fruit puree, mint, ginger beer, and lime juice. It's $8. It is wonderfully refreshing. You do have to be a fan of ginger beer because it does have a little bit of that bite.
Good.
But I think we both really, really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Rhonda was going to kind of make some appetizers her meal.
Well, first, I actually was going to get the shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
I don't know if my body was just like, I don't know, the drippage of my sinuses.
You
and
weren't
I just,
super hungry anyway.
I wasn't, and I was like, I just want to go home. I'm tired.
Yeah.
So, and then I was thinking later when I got home I'd eat and everything, but I just said, you know what? Just the lobster macaroni and cheese for $16, which is cheddar, sherry, and this
Orchetti.
pasta.
Orchetti, I think it is. Yeah, they're they're like shells. They're basically tiny shells, so they really hold
so good
the cheese and the sauce and everything.
So I was like, well, I would like that. And then I knew Jeremy wouldn't eat a Korean barbecue mushroom bao bun. These are grilled oyster mushrooms. There's cucumbers, kimchi, pickled green papaya, and it's plant-based, of course, for $15. So I said, I want
kind of delicious.
Yeah. So I was like, I would like that, please. And I said it could be as my meal. So he said, okay. My meal comes out with it, and it was just the lobster mac and cheese. So I thought, no big deal. Like, I'm thinking they might take a little bit. I don't know, whatever. Well, it didn't come out. He came. It didn't come out. He came back, and I was like, I'm good.
At that point, we weren't going to worry about it.
I'm not going to worry about it. now the main thing is to make sure it was not on the bill. I'm thinking he didn't hear me because when I do have sinuses, a lot of times I feel like I'm louder than I am, or maybe I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot going on because you ordered appetizers for a meal. Chuck ordered the lobster mac and cheese as a meal.
Yes.
Rachel got the lobster mac and cheese, but as an appetizer. So
Correct.
It came out as an appetizer, but yours came out as meals. So there must have been some sort of confusion between him in the kitchen because he said he was kind of frustrated that it was on the bill.
So it was on the bill.
Well, he didn't know it never came out.
Correct.
Actually.
And then he said it kind of made him mad, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like,
we're good.
I'm
That's
fine.
cool.
I
don't
just
wanna
wanted
pay
it
for
to
it,
be
yeah.
taken off, which of course he did.
Yeah.
So I'm sad I don't get to tell y'all about those because they do sound really good. But anyways, my mac and cheese was very, very good.
Do you feel it is good? It is very good. Do you feel it's as good as it used to be?
I am not gonna lie, and I'll be 1,000% honest. I don't even remember it.
Oh, really? Okay.
It is a good real cheddar sauce made. It is mixed with it. It's not Kraft.
Yeah, it's legit.
It
tastes like lobster throughout because they're definitely using some sort of lobster broth.
Probably, and they're probably using some of the. They're probably actually boiling the lobster and then taking the mac and cheese and cooking it in the boiling water.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, and even using possibly some of the reserved water in the sauce and all to kind of thin it out or whatever. But I will say, I didn't know it was only $16. It's a good portion, and it does eat like a meal, especially for someone like you.
Yeah, I ate it all.
I swear it used to be more. Or maybe it was just more if you ordered it next door at Nomad or something. But I was really impressed with the price and the portion, and it was definitely very good. Rachel also got the coconut-ube cauliflower soup. Mm-hmm. This is miso caramel, roasted cauliflower and mushroom, fried garlic for $14. Mm-hmm. Comes in a white bowl, and it is purple as Grimace. Like, it is Barney colored, right?
Well, it's funny because it was very...
well, yeah, how does it come out? Which was
I just started to
funny.
say, it's very... Narcoossees like with
lobster
the lobster bits.
Yeah, which I did like the presentation.
It comes out and there's just this bowl of a white bowl with stuff in it.
Yeah, well, it has the cauliflower, it has the mushroom, and it has the fried garlic in a bowl.
Okay.
And Rachel and I are both looking at it like, where's the soup part? And she already was like, you can try it if you want. And I was like, well, I probably have to.
And then she pours the soup like, you know.
Yeah,
what
hot out of a carafe.
Yep. And it was hot because I saw the steam.
Again, hot and purple.
Yep.
It was.
What'd you think? Because
I
didn't taste it.
It was good, but it's interesting. For me, it's hard to get past the color. Not that purple's an ugly color, but it's a weird color to be eating this purple.
Correct.
This purple soup.
Correct.
The flavors were really good. You know, ube is basically sweet potato.
Right.
You know, I don't feel it's as sweet, but it has a light sweetness. You definitely get a little bit of the cauliflower flavor. It's a good hearty soup. This is, this is one, if it showed up on Boma or Tusker House's buffet, you wouldn't question it for a second. So it fits in very well with the style of food and all. I wouldn't personally order it again.
Okay.
But I did still enjoy it.
Okay.
So, and then Amy got the land salad with grilled chicken. This was Young Lettuces from the Land Pavilion at Epcot. Muhammarara, plant-based feta, sumac, garlic breadcrumbs, and citrus vinaigrette for $27. She added chicken. It came with grilled chicken. I'm sorry.
And then
but you can get it with steak. You can get it with shrimp.
Yes.
Or I think you can get it with nothing, and then it is completely plant-based.
Yes. And then she took the garlic breadcrumbs off to make it gluten-free.
We said, how is it? She said, it's basically a bowl of lettuce.
She did. She said that a couple of times, and then unfortunately, so we were discussing white meat and chicken and the stuff, and then I feel like white meat is too dry. And then Jeremy was the one who started cooking it correctly for me, apparently, because I liked it, and it's very moist, basically. And I know that's the awful word, but she's a texture kind of person, and she didn't eat a ton of her chicken, but she looked at me and she goes, "Then you would love this."
Yeah, she likes it overcooked, basically.
Yeah,
you know,
I was like, okay.
I mean, really cooked chicken has a certain texture. The chicken that is just at where it needs to be, which is fully cooked, it has some give to it. Almost the same way that if you touch a medium rare steak on the outside. They always say you can do your palm of your hand to feel the doneness of different steaks and the way you do things with your hand. And so it has that a little bit more of a spongy texture. I guess when you push down, it has that. So I think that turned her off from it. So she didn't really love it, but I know in the past people have raved over this salad. I think John had done the steak one most recently and absolutely loved it. So we are going to get on to probably what a lot of people are waiting to hear about. That is the Tiffins signature burger. They have a prefix lunch option. It's not available during dinner. With the prefix lunch option, it includes the Tiffins signature burger with waffle fries, dessert, and a choice of a non-alcoholic beverage offering. All things I was going to have. Now you can add a black truffle experience of shaved black truffles, truffle aioli, and herb and truffle Cordero cheese. And also I think you get the truffle shuffle along with that cheese for an additional $15.
There was a lot of truffle in it.
and I didn't get that option, but Rachel had it last time. She enjoyed it, but said it is a lot of truffle. So, truffle is very aggressive in flavor. So you either like it or you don't usually. And so she enjoyed it, but did say it's a lot.
You shouldn't have too much of it because of the truffle trees.
Okay. All right. So I was going to get that non-alcoholic beverage and I was going to get the burger and I was going to get a dessert, but I was not going to get the dessert comes with it. It only comes with one. And I wanted to get something different that they had. So I said, can I get basically just the burger? Said yes, that'll be $29.
Okay.
So I got the burger, I got the waffle fries. We'll start with the waffle fries. I hate these waffle fries. They're the same ones at Steakhouse 71. I hate them more than any fry I've ever hated. It's on my Billy Madison hit list. The Steve Buscemi's character. Those waffle fries are up there because they're just overly cooked. Yeah. They're nothing but crispy. Yeah. The burger. So I got medium rare. This is a perfectly cooked burger patty. Mm-hmm. It is a buttery, delicious bun. Got cheese on it. And for me, it had an overly powerful smoke flavor to the burger patty. And not, to me, it wasn't, and again, I keep saying to me because most people love this burger. And I'm going to give you the reasons I didn't absolutely love it. To me, it didn't taste like the smoke you'd get on a smoker. It tasted like a smoke you would impart into something with liquid smoke, which has a very specific flavor.
Correct.
It just didn't do it for me. It did feel like an elegant elevated burger, and I will give it that. I'll go back to what I say with pizza and burgers sometimes. If you want something that's good, this is good. If you want to get your burger fix, I don't think personally this will do it. You know what I mean?
I hate to say it like this, and I know you had just a small bite, but would you go get the... I hate to say it like this, but would you go back and get the French onion burger over like this one?
I would. Well, yes.
I know you only had a small bite, but that's where...
Here's the thing. If you like this burger, you will love this burger.
Okay.
And it's not that I didn't like it or hated it. It just... This might be another one, too, that it just didn't live up to my own expectations that I set for it based on everything I had heard and seen. Okay. Because by all means, it is a quality, great burger.
Right.
Now, let's come to the fact that, considering I can't stand those waffle fries, and I know a lot of people feel that way, I paid $29 for a burger, only, technically.
Right.
To me, that's not worth it.
Okay.
So that's just my opinion on the burger. I know Rachel really enjoys it. John loved it, and most people will love this. I'm just trying to give you my opinion on, you want a burger fix? Not going to do it. You know, I got my pizza fixes. I got my burger fixes. Sometimes they just don't get me.
Wailulu does
Wailulu meets my burger, which is funny because it has a lot going on to it.
Right.
But it still meets that criteria for me. So we'll finish off. They had a roasted street corn tres leches. It is corn cake, lime puree, sweet corn cremeux, and toasted meringue for $14. I asked our server, is it good? Because it sounds weird. He said, yeah, it's good. It was weird. I don't know how to subscribe it.
Subscribe it?
I don't know how to subscribe to it. I don't know how to describe it.
So I think going with the corn cake, it is corn cake-ish, more on the cake-ish side. Mm-hmm. With all that being said, again, roasted street corn tres leches, it's a 3 milk. So you think of savory meets sweet, and I took 2 bites because it took 2 bites, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't like I didn't want it. but it wasn't good where I was like, I want to keep eating
Right.
this.
Well, here's my thing too. Do you feel?
Would I get it again? No. It was interesting to try though.
Do you
I feel
feel?
what?
Do you feel? Because John says, is it what they said? Did you get roasted
Yes.
street corn?
Yes.
And did you get tres leches?
Yes.
I didn't get either.
Okay.
So again, it was a fine dessert, but I definitely would not order it again. And it had some weird textures. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But it will for some people.
Yes.
So I think that's all the dining we did last weekend. So we're go ahead and wrap this one up. We actually are headed out for a tattoo appointment, which I'm very excited about. So Ronald's getting more Disney stuff because you need it. So
Trying to
go ahead.
finish my sleeve. That's
I know
all.
we got to. So go ahead, tune in and subscribe. You get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. I'll talk a little bit about my solo trip, which is not technically solo. It's just without Rhonda. But I'm going for a couple days with my good friend Michael from Boston. We're hitting Halloween Horror Nights, so you're going to hear that coming up. You'll also hear the family's experience of Halloween Horror Nights again, and a whole lot more, including Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yay!
So again, subscribe. Go out to mainstmagic.com. Go ahead. If you see at the bottom of every page, there's going to be a subscribe button to our email list. I am working with someone now, and we are going to be releasing a new merch shop very, very soon. It's got some awesome t-shirt designs and all in it.
Woo-hoo.
So just go ahead and subscribe so you get updates when that happens. And then, of course, finally, Rhonda and I would be so very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.